Hello and welcome to today's video. We are discussing the real problem of the economy, the Punjab problem. So what is the Punjab problem? So Punjab problem is a problem of agricultural strategy which mainly focuses on crops which are not good for the economy in long run. So the paddy cultivation, the rice cultivation dominates around 92% of the oil cultivation. So the last year data, when you look at it, this problem is a problem that not only impacts and tells you about the monoculture cropping pattern of the Punjab, but that is the true thing of the entire country as well. Now the beauty is that yes, we have food security, but at the cost of environment, at the cost of oversupply of wheat and rice, at the cost of food inflation and other food items, at the cost of protein inflation, at the cost of supply side bottleneck, at the cost of vulnerabilities of climate change and monsoon, and that is where the problem is there. So today our agriculture is in crisis because majorly we are producing wheat and rice, and today I'm talking about the paddy cultivation. So in the Hindu in explained section, the Indian Express explained section, they have discussed about the aspects of Punjab. So Punjab saw an all-time high 32.4 lakh hectare under the paddy cultivation. This is almost 92%. That means apart from the paddy, which is rice, we just have very less 8% of other crops. Now other crops means apart from paddy, you have cotton, you have maize, you have pulses, you have oilseeds, and you have sugarcane. So dominantly, farmers of Punjab are risk averse. They don't want to take risk. Government is doing lip service. Economy is suffering. The water table is depleting, and we are facing environmental challenges and future food insecurity in long run. So let's understand what is the crisis and what are the challenges. The first challenge which Punjab mainly focuses goes through is the monocrop culture. So we have wheat during the Rabi season, and we have rice or paddy during the Kharif season. Now both of them dominate. In fact, Punjab is said to be the wheat belt of the India as well. So this, when the same crop repeats every year, it makes the pest attack, it causes disease to the crop, the soil fertility comes down, there are environmental issues, for example, increased dependence on chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticide, because the soil is not evolving, it is not developing, it is not enriching itself, and thereby it is important that we have a cropping pattern which causes the crop rotation, crop diversification. Now third is groundwater depletion. Now paddy is a water intensive crop, and because it's a water intensive crop, 0.5 meter per annum the water table is depleting. Now this is crisis in making, because not today, after 2 decades or 3 decades, Punjab will not have water. This is the real problem that we might witness in future, and that is where it is important that we address this change. Now next comes, what are the way forward, what government is doing? When you are looking at the government is just focusing on other crops. So they are saying that let's focus on paddy push. So paddy push, apart from paddy push, they went ahead for maize push. So 12,000 hectare maize push, cotton push by 15%, but this is all lip service, because you're talking about very limited growth of other crops. Farmers still are focusing on the crops which are rice and wheat, because one factor is the support of the government, second factor is the R&D researches are also there in the same crop. How do you expect this to happen in future? If you look at the real problem, the farmers of Punjab, they don't want to take risks, and it is also because they want to secure the income. Now government's efforts are insincere. They are not they are not to the extent that farmers should adopt them. Why should I go for other crop if I'm not assured of my income? Why should I am so worried about future, because the current is insecure? So that is where the focus should be. In 2009, Punjab Preservation Subsoil Water Act said that you can't have between May and June, you can't have you can't have the pre-harvest, the season part, you cannot grow. So the crop cycle pushes, and because the crop cycle pushes, so there is a problem of the problem that we face after the wheat cultivation, and that has to be addressed. Stubble burning. So all these have to be addressed. If the farmers are secured, they will look out of box and they will try to find a solution. So what is the way forward? What should be done? Now remember, this is a problem which Indian economy routinely witnesses, and thereby it is important that we have to push them. Why paddy remains the king? The first and foremost support is the government support program are not enough. So okay, for example, the maize push is not enough. Guaranteed MSP program. So farmers are guaranteed of their item will be sold in the market at the minimum support price. The freebie culture. Even today we have 8 hours of free electricity that government is giving to the farmers in Punjab, and this is causing the farmers to push for the paddy cultivation only. Also, paddy cultivation is about food security of India, and food security assures that 81 crore of Indian farmers, they will get free wheat, free rice under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Now we are looking at a challenge. Now that means government would procure wheat and rice under the food security program. So farmers are assured. There is an oversupply of wheat and rice. The buffer stocks are full at the cost of supply issue of other crops. So there is higher food inflation in other areas. For example, we have pulses, the production is less. For example, the oil seeds, the production are less. Now this is causing inflation. So pulses are costly, the oil seeds are costly. The other crops, for example, there is a demand for the protein inflation. There is a demand for protein items. Now that is not there. So we are facing a challenge where agriculture has to be addressed. Now why paddy remains the king? Because let's see what article has to say. The Indian Express article says that in economy susceptible to instability, farmers remain risk averse to experiment with new crops without assured return. Basically what MSP gives them, and a strong overall institutional support. Despite lip service from the state government about need to diversify, there is supply not enough to incentive for the average farmer to shift from paddy to any other crop. As a farmer, why should I shift to other crop if I am not assured of the income? So this is the problem, and remember, this problem has remained since almost decades, because today's agricultural strategy that we have, it is based on the strategy which we adopted in 1970s. The focus in 1970s was food security, production, and instead of, we focus more on the supply. Today the demand is different, but the focus still is on the supply aspect, where we are producing more at the cost of other crops. At that time there were problems. Wheat was scarce, rice was scarce, we had to develop them, we have to produce them. Government got support, and government gave support to farmers, and India was able to produce in surplus. But today this strategy will not work anymore. So that is where it is important that farmer will not the initiatives will not be taken by farmer unless until farmers are assured. Now what is the way forward? Now very simple. Now remember, you can jot this point for the mains examination. So the first way forward is that you focus aggressive diversification efforts, that is targeted crop diversification. Go for alternatives of MSP, secure MSP for other crops. For example, pulses or oil seeds or any crop which is in demand. Then shift from farm level economics and infrastructure. Focus on economics of the agricultural crops other than wheat and rice, because farmer will get assured. Develop robust market linkage for other crops. For example, we can have farmer producer organization, where the farmer producer organization is incentivized that if you move from wheat and rice, we'll give you X incentive. So incentives are given. Then awareness and education. For example, demonstration farms. Farmer can be demonstrated on a certain crop that, see, if you adopt this crop, this is what the benefit will be there. Okay. Then coming to the questions in the mains examination. Now let's see what UPSC has to ask. Every alternate year, UPSC, this theme is repeated. Okay, and I'll be covering the mains PYQ series. In this main PYQ series, I'll be covering the detailed answer of that. Explain the changes in the cropping pattern in India in context to changes in the consumption pattern and marketing condition. So consumption pattern has moved. It has moved from to protein items. It has moved to high value crops. High value crops. So instead of millets, you want to eat wheat and rice. Here also in wheat and rice, you want to go for higher quality of rice, basmati. Protein, there's a demand for pulses, demand for other protein items. There is change in the dietary habits, and dietary habits has a direct linkage with income. So the income goes up, the dietary habit will change. So automatically it is very important that you understand the consumption pattern of Indians are changing, because as per, if you look at the monthly per capita expenditure, the household survey, the monthly per capita expenditure has increased. So when your income is increased, you move to the crop which are more, or the food items which are more beneficial for you. Then the marketing condition also depends. For example, MSP automatically supports the wheat and rice. If government promotes marketing of, for example, millets were promoted, so that helps. So if there is a market infrastructure, that will create demand for the crops. So I'll be discussing these mains in the PYQ series. So that is how the approach is. Look at the current topics. Very easily you can link with the current topic with the UPSC Mains examination. You just have to follow newspapers properly, and I'll be covering this series on my YouTube channel. Be regular, be consistent, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're a serious aspirant, you will find a lot of support here. God bless you. Take care.